Hey, you're watching Half Sip the Lockpick and Welder. On today's episode, I've got something a little bit different, something I've not done on this channel before. My lovely wife bought me a lock. This little guy here from the dollar store. She didn't know that there's kind of different locks at the time, though, and didn't realize that what a warded lock is. So this is a warded lock. So not exactly going to be picking this, but I thought it'd still be kind of interesting for those of you who aren't familiar with warded locks. They're kind of interesting. This is one of them. I happened to have two of them before this, so that was kind of nice. So I was actually kind of prepared. These are what the keys look like. So you can see there's some kind of funny cuts on them, and it's called a warded lock because there's a bunch of warding inside that these little cuts pass through, or I guess the tabs pass through. What's interesting about warded locks, though, is that the only portion of the key that really matters, or that opens the lock, is just this last little bit right at the end. So it's kind of easy to make a warded pick or a master key, what have you. I'm sure some of you have seen the warded picks that Sparrows has. There's like 5 of them, and they open up a plethora of warded locks. So I happen to have made myself a little, I guess you can call it a warded pick or a master key for these particular secure locks. So what I did was I just cut off everything except for the last little bit, and it opens pretty much all of these. So we can see we've got some different keys here. They're definitely different, and this one I'm assuming is also going to be pretty different as well. So I'm going to crack this thing open and see if we can't, I wonder if there's an easier way with these funny blister packs. Cut through my hand probably. There we go. Alright. So in this case, it doesn't matter if I look at the key or not, because we're not really concerned with the bitting per se. But again, we can see that the key is quite different. Actually, it's quite different. Hopefully this actually works, and we'll see here. So I'm going to just open these other ones first so you can see how this works. So again, I've cut everything off except for the last little bit. You can see this is definitely different. I'm just going to stick it in there the right way, and boom, she opens. Now this one again, different key. Stick it in there, and boom, it's open. Love it. So now here's the new one. The key's slightly different, but I'm hoping that things still work out the same. Oh, of course. Of course, it's a little bit fatter. What did they do? Oh, so they slightly changed the key. There's actually like, geez. Okay, well that's fine. We can, I wonder if I can quickly file down the tip of it to make it fit in there. So I'm going to fast forward through this part, but I'm going to, actually, you know what, we'll be back in 1 second. Let me just file this. Okay, I'm back. Did a little bit of modification to the key. Just want to make sure that it still works in these other locks, because I had to shorten the tip a little bit so that it would fit in this guy. It's quite a bit smaller. So let's see here, and of course it still works. Try the other one just in case, and there we go. Okay, so that still works. Now let's try the new one. So it's got quite a different keyway there. These things are like just wide open. This one's a little bit tighter, and it's got a different shape to it. So we'll kind of finagle it in there, and boom, there we go. So a quick little modification, just thinned out the tip, shortened it a little bit, and now it opens all of these older secure locks. This newer secure lock. It's pretty cool, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually opens other types of warded locks as well that use a similar profile, I guess you can call it. So that is a warded lock. These things really kind of amaze me. Or I should say, I'm blown away that companies still make something like this. I mean, it's hard to call this a lock when it's so incredibly easy to get it open with something like this. I mean, you don't have to necessarily use an existing key. You can use just a piece of metal that you shape with a little tip like this, and it's going to work just the same. I mean, I can understand, you know, back in the day when technology was lacking, and this was probably actually pretty good. I mean, this was better than what they had at the time, I would assume. If not, then it really makes you question why anybody would ever do something like this. I would have loved to have been at the meeting where somebody said, hey, let's make a lock that looks like it, you know, has some sort of security features in it, but only the last little tip is what actually opens the lock. The rest of it is just basically for show. Whatever works, I guess. Whatever makes them happy. But that was warded locks and opened with a master key. So I hope you guys found that interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. I find this stuff super interesting, so if I can, you know, part some of that onto someone else, that's great. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and take care.